What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. We are on the test server currently and we are going to be taking a look at the likes of the new heroes coming out this weekend on the new ancient banner, Uredin. He is a chaotic and he is cultist. We'll go through his promotions, skills, awakens, then we'll go through gear, we'll have a look at his artifacts, and then we'll throw him into gear raid 119 to test out his AoE damage. The same as we did for the likes of Boreas. And he's got exactly the same gear as well. So it will be nice to see the difference between that. So let's have a little look. Let's go for his promotions first. Promotion 1, he gets Phantom Rage, which we'll talk about in his skills itself. At promotion 2, we get the Talent Enhanced. Again, we'll talk about that in the skills. Promotion 3, we get Arbiter of Death. Promotion 4 is just basic attributes increased. Talent gets enhanced again at promotion 5. And at promotion 6 is a basic attributes increase. Now, there's no extension on the range from his promotions, but he does have a 2-tile range, which makes it really, really nice. So, first we're going to read about his talent. After the ultimate is cast, basic attack will turn into Phantom Strike. What is Phantom Strike, you ask? And it lasts for 15 seconds. Deals 150% AoE damage to at most 10 enemies in range of the ultimate. So he's going to hit at most 10 enemies for 150% damage on his basic attack. If the ultimate is cast when Potent Surge maxes out, basic attack will turn into Soul Harvest. What is Potent Surge? Rage can continue to recover after reaching its cap, accumulating up to 2 times the cap. All rage will be consumed when casting the ultimate. So you're going to hit 100% rage, and then he's going to build up to a further 200%, which is going to improve his ultimate. What does Soul Harvest do? Deals 120% AoE damage 2 times to at most 10 enemies in range of the ultimate. So it's going to be 240% compared to 150% for the initial 100% rage. That's what his talent does. There is more to it. We'll get to that in a moment through his skills. This is his basic. Deals 120% damage or AoE damage up to 5 enemies. That damage is increased by 20%. It would normally be 100%, so take note of that as well. But remember, this will turn into Phantom Strike after the first time. It lasts for 15 seconds. And he'll be hitting 10 enemies for 150% damage. And if you go for the 2 times, he will be hitting twice at once. And 10 enemies for 240%. Now, Phantom Rage is passive. A lower health grants a higher rage regen. With a maximum increase of 15 when health reaches 30%. This is, of course, increased, as you can see, through the skills, but it's actually a very nice passive skill, because we do need to have fast rage regen for the likes of him. If we look at Arbiter of Death, another passive he owns. When dealing damage using Soul Harvest, which we spoke about, this is the second phase of his ultimate. There is a 30% chance to execute enemies. So not only will he be dealing more damage, he will have the chance, or 30% chance, of execution. That is increased here, as you can see, by 10%. And he has the execution threshold plus 10% on that. So it would initially be 25% and 20% on these. When receiving fatal damage during effect of Phantom Strike, which is that initial ultimate, and Soul Harvest, so it works with both, this does, the hero enters Unyielding, which is very nice, which can be triggered up to 1 time per deployment. You should all know what Unyielding is. It means he will not die from taking damage. He does have an arena cost reduction as well of 5, and I can see him being very strong in arena. I can see him being very strong in arena and guild vs guild. So Obliterating Blast, this is his ultimate. It is an 800 cost. Attacks up to 10 enemies. That is because it's upgraded. It would normally be 1,000. Attacks up to 10 enemies in a large range ahead. Dealing 500% AoE damage and inflicting stun. Now, that's the first method of it. 100% ultimate will do this and it'll be a 1-second stun. However, if you go up to 200% rage, attacks up to 10 enemies in a large range ahead, dealing 1200% AoE damage and inflicting a 3-second stun, no longer 1 second. So it's an improvement on that stun as well. Of course, these are slightly upgraded, 100% on the normal one and 200% on his Potent Surge. So you know, he's got capability of doing massive damage, and he does have a 2-tile range, meaning you can put him behind a tank. Really, that's going to be quite a solid feature, isn't it? Having him behind a tank, hitting up to 10 enemies, you know, potentially building up on that tank as well. Let's have a look at his Awakens. Awaken 1. During the effect of Unyielding granted by Arbiter of Death, increases attack speed by 200. When the effect ends, it also restores 50% health. It's actually a very nice first awakening, isn't it? Again, he will need to be activating that after his ultimate. You can't activate that before his ultimate. So if you know, proc it, and as soon as he gets Unyielding granted by, but that means he's going to be needing to be up front. He won't be able to be behind a tank to take advantage of that. He will need to take deadly damage in order to get the extra 200% speed, or 200 speed, sorry, not percent, and restoring 50% health. Okay. Awaken 2, crit damage plus 15%. That's actually a big increase. Awaken 3, it enhanced. Is this Potent Surge enhanced? Obliterating Blast enhanced. Okay. When Potent Surge maxes out, damage of Obliterating Blast ignores 40% of a target's magic resistance. That's another factor to note quickly. He does do magic damage. He's not doing physical damage. So he's a fighter that's doing magic damage. Going behind the tanks as well could be super. But yeah, ignoring 40% of a target's magic resistance on a 1200% AoE damage is a lot of damage. Awaken 4, penetration plus 8. Awaken 5, it's enhanced again for each enemy taking damage from Obliterating Blast, increases attack by 5% for 15 seconds, stacking up to 5 stacks. So effectively, you can get an extra 25% attack there for 15 seconds. This is on his ultimate, and that can be on any, okay? That doesn't have to be on a Potent Surge. So that's a big boost to him there. The gear, we did a straight swap from Boreas onto Uredin. It is Ageless Wrath, it is crit damage. He has a good amount of attack, and he actually does have a very large base attack too, which is super nice. Crit rate is at 94%, crit damage is only at 71%, rage regen is 18.5, his attack speed is plus 291 though. We've got attack bonus piece on here, again, crit rate, attack speed, crit damage, and attack, kind of perfect pieces, just didn't roll the best. Attack bonus again here with attack speed and crit rate on here. Could have obviously had better ones in the middle. And the bottom one here, attack bonus plus 66%. Crit rate, attack speed, rage regen. I mean, the rage regen is actually going to be very, very useful in Uredin. Potentially, you could build him with a bit more if you can get the rolls. But again, you're not going to want to sacrifice crit rate, crit damage, and attack for the likes of rage regen, but it'd be very nice to have it. He is as well on a Warlord set here, and these pieces here are weak, I know. Attack bonus, crit rate, attack speed, perfect kind of stats on there if we get a crit damage on there as well. On the chest, we've got crit damage, crit rate, attack bonus. This is actually a nice piece. So that's how we build our Uredin, or that's how I would suggest you to build him. There may be changing factors. You may want to have a little bit more health and defense on him, potentially. But you can see the attack speed here, plus 291, has reduced his attack by 1.5 seconds, meaning he's going to be doing more AoE damage thanks to having more attacks. The crit rate there is slightly lower, just needs an extra 3% for 100%. The artifact that I chose to put on him for this was Eye of Sim. Increases AoE damage by 20%, killing enemies, grants an extra 10% AoE damage bonus that lasts 3 seconds. So that's what's on him at the moment for this video. So let's have a little look at how he plays. So we're going to go into Raid, we're going to go into Gear Raid, we'll go into Gear Raid 1. We'll go to Gear Raid 1, Stage 19, the same we did as with Boreas. Yeah, we'll go here. We're going to throw him in with Dolores, with Laurel and Hollow. The only issue here is, obviously, there's a lot of tiles. He's not going to perform like Boreas did, okay? But he is going to be a solid hero here. He's going to help a lot of accounts, to be honest. Possibly put him facing left, so he's hitting everyone. He will be taking damage, though. So, again, you will need to time that unyielding. Hopefully, he can survive. Again, though, you wouldn't be coming in with just this kind of hero. You would have a team around him. You wouldn't just have the healers there. So let's have a little look at what he can do. So we'll place him in. We're going to place Dolores in the top right there, so he's getting that attack boost. Laurel can go here. Yeah, she can go there for the boost a moment. We'll just wait for our holo. So you can see here, he's about to hit his rage, and then he will refresh it, and he will continue to build it. He will continue to build that. If I move, you can see here that it's going up to 200%. But first, we're going to do, let me slow it down. We're going to do a ×1 first, just 100% ultimate. No, you know what? We won't do that. We will go to a 200% because we're near enough there now. Holo's going to help boosting that rage faster, as you can see. I don't know how many enemies there are there, but have a look here. We're going to trigger it. We're going to do a huge amount of damage. There's a 3-second stun. And now he's hitting twice at once, as you can see, with that potent surge that we discussed. He's doing some pretty nice damage, to be fair. He's doing some pretty nice damage. Let's remove this Laurel. And we can trigger our holo. But now, obviously, after that, it's a bit lackluster. It's a little bit lackluster. We're only hitting 5 enemies. We're not hitting 10. And there's going to be a lot more than that in a moment. Let's trigger his ultimate at just the standard rate here. You've seen there was a lot less damage. You also seen it was only a 1-second stun. And now he is only hitting 1 time. So really, I think clearing out these waves, you are really going to want to have him at the 200% rage count. Because otherwise, it's just nowhere near as viable, we should say. I mean, if you're desperate, you're going to use it. But we can have a look here. Let's remove Laurel. Are we close to it? We're close to 200%. We will make it before this wall is broke. So let's have a look at how if we can clear through these enemies a moment. We're hitting twice now. 10 enemies a time. And we're clearing through very nicely. So he has large damage capabilities. We can't deny that. And again, he's doing this on his own. I say on his own. He's got Dolores, Holo, and also Laurel. But he is dead now. He did very well to hang off there, though. So that is Uredin. But Arena, he is going to be strong in. He is going to be strong in Arena. You know, there's never more than, say, 10 enemies at once either. He's doing magic damage. He has a 2-tile range, meaning we can nicely place him behind a tank as well for protection, or we can have him up front either way. It's up to you on how you want to do that. So we've seen him in action at Awakens 0, but how about Awakens 5? Let's quickly enhance these on the test server. You get loads of resources so we can test the heroes. And we're going to test him out in the Gear Aid 1 Stage 19 again, just to see how he does. We are getting that attack speed increased by 200 and a restoration of 50% health when unyielding is granted. We're also going to get that 40% ignore of target's magic resistance will be very helpful. Penetration +8 here. And then Awaken 5. For each enemy taking damage from Obliterating Blast, increases attack by 5% for 15 seconds, stacking up to 5 stacks at 25% extra attack. You know, that's going to make a huge difference as well. So let's see how he fares now. We didn't do this with Boreas in that showcase. We literally just left him at A0 and it was enough. So it'll be interesting to see how much of a difference this can make to him. So we now have an A5 Uredin. We're going to let this build up. And he should just wreck through these ads at a 200% ultimate. He really should. Let's remove Laurel here. Actually, we'll trigger our Dolores. Remove Laurel. Trigger our Holo. It won't be long before we're at 200%. Dolores is still active. Oh my goodness. That ignoring 40% of their magic resistance, just... That Awaken 3 is strong. That Awaken 3 is strong. What a difference that was in damage comparison. Don't die. Don't die. So we're going to try and let it build up again a moment. For 200. Oh, I haven't got my Laurel close enough to boost his, so it's my bad. Okay, so everyone's there. How fast is he going to clear through this? There was a lot of ads there. I mean, the wall is a lot healthier than it was when he was A, and we'd expect that, okay? It is A5. That's a huge difference. A huge difference in a hero. Let's throw Laurel there. Let's trigger Dolores. She's dead. Hollow's active. Now, let's just hold off a second on this. We want him a bit closer. He's losing some health. And now we're going to trigger it. There's a stun. There's a good amount of damage. But how much is he going to do to these? I think he just triggered unyielding as well. So he's got that 200. Yeah, he's down now. But I tell you what, he did do a ton of damage. He did do a ton of damage at A5. I would say that A3 is you know, big. But then we've got that A5 with 25% attack increase as well. So you're getting that 40% ignore of magic resistance on the enemies from the initial nuke. And then we're getting a 25% boost on attack as well. So he's definitely a strong hero. How strong? Unsure right now. But at least we've got the showcase out so you can decide how you think he's going to be for your account. I'll see all of you in the next video. Have a fantastic day, Eden, wherever you are. Goodbye.